It was a Friday night when I was laying in my bed watching a movie. I almost fell asleep till I heard the loud noise coming out the basement. I was all alone in the house, and that creepy thing got me worried. Actually, I had newly shifted to this place a few months back with my mom after my parents got divorced. We got to know about this house from an Instagram account that helps people find rental flats at cheap rates. Unfortunately, my mom was at my grandma's house that night. I wanted to check the basement to comfort myself that there's nobody in the house, so I decided to come out of my bedroom and check the basement for my assurance. But as soon as I stepped out of my room, I felt a strong rush of air behind my back like somebody had moved rapidly behind. A feeling of chill ran through my veins. I turned around instantly, but saw nothing except a pendant laying on the floor which indicated a cross. But it wasn't just any cross, it was a red cross covered in blood. It was petrifying. I got creeped out. Where did that come from? And how was it laying here? This whole thing got me suspicious. I went back inside my room and locked myself in. I waited for my mom to come back from my grandma's house, as I did not want to face something strange or terrifying all alone. A few minutes later, I heard a knock at my door, and expecting it to be my mom, I opened the door immediately, but saw a little boy standing in front of me. He looked so dull with pale skin and dark black eyes, which seemed to be in pain with few cuts on his finger, which made him bleed. Wondering how he got inside the house, I hesitantly asked, "Who are you, and how did you come in here?" But suddenly he ran towards the basement. It felt as if he wanted to show me something down there. I reluctantly followed him till we reached the basement. He went next to that big metal chest, which smelled very bad, like it has been closed for several years, and something was getting rotten inside for a long time. There was a sudden drop in the environment which felt freezing and unpleasant at the same time. I went closer to that chest to see what's inside. The little kid frightened and started crying and pointing towards my back. I turned around and saw that the kid was pointing towards the old creepy locked door inside the basement. We were told by the owner of the house to not get near that door at all. He said it contained some old stuff of his dead wife. I went closer to the door, and as I got closer my legs became much heavier. The kid started screaming loudly saying help. His voice changed to an old lady screaming, which was horrifying. I fell on the floor and crawled my way out the basement. The kid ran towards me, but I stood up and sprinted to the basement door, went outside and locked it. I ran to the front door to escape. As I got outside the house, I searched my pockets looking for my phone. I couldn't find it. I realized it must have fallen out of my pockets while I was running. I'm not getting back into the house. I went to my neighbors asking to use the phone. They said yes and invited me to come inside. I called the cops, and then I called my mom. She told me she's coming right away. The cops came and searched all the place, but they couldn't find anyone there. I was shocked. I'm not crazy, and I'm pretty sure everything I saw and heard was real. I went inside and straight to the basement. It was empty. I went upstairs to my room, found my phone in my bed. I grabbed my phone. I noticed that the pendant was still on the floor, covered with fresh blood. I picked it up and ran outside to show it to the cops. I stopped and said to myself, they are not going to believe me anyway. I hid the pendant and told the cops everything is okay. Perhaps I was just too exhausted. After the cops left, I showed my mom the pendant and she got scared and ultimately terrified. My mom told me we need to leave this place as fast as possible. We packed everything up, and as we were leaving, Mom asked me to give her the pendant. I handed it over to her. She threw it at the wall inside the house. A couple months later, we found a picture on the internet of the house owner. He has been arrested. The cops found out that the locked room in the basement had the body of a dead lady and a kid, which were the man's wife and kid. His wife found out about his dirty work, and the kid saw him killing his mom, so he was murdered too. I was relieved that they finally knew that I wasn't crazy and everything happened was true. But at least I could say I learned a lesson from this, is that I'm never renting any houses on Instagram again.